people, it's your girl Nene. I'm back, as you can see. I want to thank those of my subscribers that still subscribe to my channel, didn't unsubscribe. Those who are new to my channel, appreciate you joining. And those who have left my channel, pieces and blessings to you. Hope everything is great. I had to step away from YouTube just for a little bit, just to handle some personal stuff. So all of that's behind me. Everything's good to go. So let's get started. We're going to get started with this Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 4, Episode 1, Mar So Messy. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to get started with Letitia and Marceau. Well, actually, before we get into them, basically this is, I'm taking it that this was, they did the taping, or the filming, excuse me, of this season maybe right after the reunion, because they keep saying the reunion, like they keep mentioning that, and you can see that reality TV has changed tremendously, because they would never even mention the reunion before, but now it's like the fifth wall is down and they're mentioning it. So let's start off with Tisha and Marceau. I understand being a very supportive wife, and that's a beautiful thing, and I love that, and I love to see love, and I love to see black love. I'm not going to say, however, I'm a bit confused, because I know every person's marriage is different. What one woman will accept, another woman won't, and what one woman wants, another woman may not need. I say all of that to say, okay, so Marceau, you needed a break and you wanted to go on a trip. By all means, I understand that everybody needs a break. Everybody needs a time to decompress. You got a lot going on. You're a husband. You're a father. You're an entrepreneur. You have multi streams of business. You also have this reality show. You got social media. You have, and you're in Huntsville, or you might be on the outskirts of Huntsville. So you got so many things that's coming at you at one time. And of course, mental health is a very important thing, especially in the black community. We need to take care of our mental health and not have a stigma or a shame behind it, okay? However, you decided to go to Africa. Like, you had to go to Africa to get yourself together. Like, you couldn't get yourself together in Louisiana. Gather your thoughts in Texas, California, Colorado, like none of those. Canada, like, no, you had to go to Africa. Now, and the reason why I'm emphasizing, on the fact that he chose Africa. As someone of the black community, it has always been many, many people of this community dream to go back to Africa. Okay? To go back to a home that we do not know of. Okay? I would think you would want to take your wife and especially your children on a trip like this. So educational, to see where they came from and the infrastructure there and just the ground and just being in that presence of that culture that was stripped from us. You took it upon yourself to go there alone. And I understand Tisha's being supportive, but Tisha, call a thing a thing. Everyone, you said, oh, I wish you would have. No, just say, all right, I wanted to go and I wanted the kids to go. And I still don't understand why you had to go by yourself all the way to Africa. Like, I'm all for supporting you, but that should have been a family trip. You can gather your thoughts by going to North Carolina. Like, I don't, that's neither here or there. That's not my business. But they had dinner. And they're talking about it, and he's saying he appreciates it and everything like that. And I understand social media is having these rumors, and Tisha's trying to stay distance from that because it can be tremendously hard. I could just imagine the thousands of DMs she gets and messages and posts and tags she may get in a day. However, you got to realize a lot of these rumors that come up is because of some of the inconsistencies that happen with your husband, the conversation that y'all guys are having on on camera, but also the fact that he doesn't answer questions thoroughly. Like, he is, when I tell you he got some good ways. He should have been a lawyer where he can reroute his statement, because he was talking about his pilgrimage to Africa and how great it was, and he appreciated Tisha, and to show his appreciation, he took her out to dinner. She was okay with you going out the country, and you want to show her appreciation by taking her to dinner. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I mean, if that's what you got from that. But at the dinner, you said you want a executive director slash assistant or something like that. Why all of a sudden you want this? You can't even give Jalen help with Black. Now all of a sudden you want a personal assistant slash like director of what? Did you meet this person in Africa? Is this just a random person? And Tisha was rightfully so, because she has, it's not so much insecurity. She just has questions. Things are just not adding up to her. About, well, what type of person do you want with this, and I don't know. I can't remember. I can't recall if he had an issue if it was a male that it had to be a female. Well, there's the issue. Why I got to be a female? It should be who's ever the most qualified. Uh, Tisha do need to trust her husband in regards to making sure he picks someone, but her wanting to have an input and saying who this person is, that part shows insecurity. Okay. Um, and personally, being myself, I would just be showing my insecurities. I would be like, what we're not finna do is have no big booty heifer being your assistant. What we not gonna do? We're not gonna have the skin tight skirts and all that. And we ain't finna have that. Nope. Anything you like on a female, whether it's her eyes, her eyelashes, her hair, her eyebrow, we ain't gonna have none of that. She ain't gonna have no eyebrows. She ain't gonna have no eyelashes. She ain't gonna have no hair. Okay? Okay? We ain't gonna have none of that. Anything you think is appealing, she ain't gonna have. Okay? Because I don't need your eye going over here. And then you come home and you can't see out of one of your eyes because I done blacked it. How we going to succeed in our businesses if you can't see? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, that's just me. That was it to them. They really didn't do much this episode. Again, this episode is just the start of the season, so it's not gonna have that many climactic moments. The next moment we're gonna talk about is while we're on Letitia and Destiny, which that's a strange friendship that just, I guess, resonated from nowhere, or a common thread of Mel not speaking to neither one of them. The story keeps changing, okay? As you'll see in episode 2, the story of whole Mel, Letitia, and Destiny's threesome drama, okay? Um, the story keeps changing. So apparently, the original story was that Letitia and Destiny was in Destiny's hotel. This is during the reunion. And Letitia was basically giving Destiny the rundown of what happened at the reunion when she wasn't on the stage. Apparently, Mel overheard. So, Mel, at first, it was said that Mel was next door. Mel knocked on the door and said, hey, your conversation can be heard. You might want to be mindful of that. According to Destiny, that's according to Destiny or whatever. But also, like, after that, according to Destiny, her and Mel had a conversation over brunch, And Destiny was saying like it was nothing really happening. I apologize if you thought something was really being said behind your back. And so Mel said, well, it's not the fact that you was talking, it's the fact that you was talking to my enemy. Then that story changed. Then from Mel's perspective, because each person is going to have a different perspective. From Mel's perspective, Destiny and Letitia was gossiping about her so loud that she was down the hallway, and they wasn't aware of where Mel sat, or Mel's hotel room was, that they were so close together. They wasn't aware of that, and that she overheard them, and she knocked on the door, and she pretty much said, you better watch your mouth, or whatever, so on and so forth. And then apparently, because this is Mel talking to, I guess she's going to be a new cast member, Stormy. We'll get into that in a minute. And she was talking to her and saying that Destiny was so remorseful and apologetic and apologizing so many times, and Mel was like, yeah, I just don't, I'm big on loyalty, blah blah blah. This is where I got a problem when stuff is getting blurred. Everybody on this show talk about one another. You do. Everybody talks about everything. The men talk about the men, the women talk about the women, the women talk about the men talk about the women talk about the women, and the men of the women. Everybody talk about everybody. The dog talk about the cat talk about the dog, the kids talk about the kids, and then the other kids see the kid and know the kid and talk to the kid. Everybody and their mama talk about everybody on this show. Okay. Now, I say that to say this. If you are at a reunion, and if we, from what we saw on the reunion, was a monumental moment. Can you imagine what was edited and left on the floor that they, on the editing floor that they was privy to? So Tisha and Destiny coming together and having a conversation about what was said and what was done and who was this and who thought that and this and that and this and this. Okay, I can believe that. The whole thing of nobody knew who room was where. Mel is an executive producer. I would think you would know who was adjacent to you. And seeming the type of person Mel is, and she's all about who's around her in a circle and her peace, it's hard for me to fathom that she didn't know that they was there. It's hard for me to fathom that they said something so detrimental that Destiny had to remorsefully damn near cry for your apology. I don't see that. I'm just saying, like, call a thing a thing. Everybody talks about everybody. Okay? So why are we so upset because they was talking about you? You talk about them. You talking about them talking about you. Like, that's what it is. Y'all, everybody talks about everybody. So why are we so upset to the point now you are denouncing Destiny as your friend, and of course Tisha's now your enemy? Like, I'm not understanding. Stormy. I just hope Stormy's not going to be, from what I can see so far, she doesn't appear so, but I just hope we don't get that same Tiffany vibe. That's all I'm saying. Because Tiffany irks my living daylights, my last nerve, the last nerve. Because it's the whole thing. If I have to hear, first of all, I'm so sick of hearing these same root words or words with sparkle on them. I don't know what you want to call them. But if I have to hear transparency one more time, I'm going to transparent myself out of here. I cannot. I'm so over that word. Transparency. And I was trying to be so transparent. And the transparency and the transparency of the transplant of the Shut up. I'm tired of hearing that word. But, yeah, so I just don't understand. Stormy seemed like she's going to be cool. Mel is talking to her, basically gossiping, just like she said they was gossiping. She's doing the same thing. But in this one, she sounds like she was about it. I don't understand. But of course, they're talking about how Marsau threw Maurice under the bus by posting a picture. Okay? So, again, Mel is talking to Stormy about somebody else's business when she didn't like Destiny and Letitia talking about her business. But I digress. So we're going to go on to Kimmy and Maurice. I'm not trying to show favoritism or anything like that, but my girl is Kimmy. Because Kimmy is about what's going on in her household. She ain't got time to worry about anybody else's household. She gives them peace and blessings and prayers. What she's not trying to do is look like a fool and be lied to. I don't understand the purpose of Maurice saying he wasn't there. Like, I don't. Sir, that makes you look suspicious. If you saying I wasn't there and then it comes out that you was there, that looks suspicious. That looks suspicious. 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 That looks suspicious. That looks suspicious. Like, I don't understand. Why would you even say you wasn't there when you was there? I didn't get what I didn't get. What I didn't get is when men are sneaking, like, oh, this don't make no sense to me. Martell, you were sneaking and hooking up with a sneaky link, and then you take a picture at the club to mark the date, the time of when you was at said place, so old girl could sit there and say, "Oh yeah, I was there," and Maurice was with a linebacker. I don't understand. If you're trying to, at this point, I guess you wasn't trying to hide it. It didn't make sense to me. But I love Kimmy because she's like, what was he trying to accomplish with this? Why would Marsau do that? As a brother, I'm not understanding why you would take that picture, post it on social media, incriminating your brother, essentially talking to Tisha about it and saying that he's at fault because he should have never said. To me, that doesn't sound like a joke. To me, that sounds like you trying to do spitefulness. Like, what kind of joke would that be? Like, first of all, you be the first one telling Tisha stop getting on social media and reading all of the stuff that the people are saying, all of that. But then you the same one that hop, skip, and jump to social media, found a picture out your phone, went to posting it, then you hit publish or post and let it just go out there into the social media verse. I agree with Kimmy when she asked him straight up and down, was you with the linebacker? I agree with Kimmy when she said, well, I have no choice but to agree with Kimmy because this is her marriage. But I totally understand where she was coming from when she sat here and said, look, before we was dating, it was pretty much not like giving a pass, but giving a pass. Like, okay, I'm not concerned about that. Like, I'm gonna be upset because you lied to me about that, but it's not gonna be a deal breaker. However, after such and such day when we stood there in front of everybody and God and said, I do, that marks the time that all of that foolishness before me should have been done. Okay? Done. I mean, so done. I mean, cooked. Overly cooked, done. I'm talking about that meat that you had in the oven and you cooked it for so long, when it came out, it was jerky. That kind of done. I get that. Totally understand it. However, this has caused issues and stress and everything like that, to the point that Kimmy and Maurice are going to have dinner with one of the other Scott's brothers and his wife to discuss it. So they sit down, and again, not trying to show favoritism, but I am. Kimmy is my girl. Like, we're not going to sugarcoat it. We came here, we had a conversation. We're going to have a conversation. Oh, you're here early. We're going to do the pleasant conversations, okay? Now, all of that said and done, let's get to the point. So what was your purpose of posting up that picture? Call them out. Call them out. Don't sugarcoat. Don't bite your tongue. Don't tiptoe. Nothing. What was the purpose of you posting up the video? I mean the picture. And Tisha's like, oh, just straight to the point. Yeah, that's the problem. You don't get straight to the point. Get straight to the point. I'm not missing words. I got to say what I got to say. I don't have time for this. Why you post up the picture, bruh? Well, I was doing it as a joke, and I really don't have anything to lose, and blah, 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 and I didn't think anybody would be bothered. You knew exactly what you was doing. You are real grown. You knew exactly what you was doing. Let's not play. Let's not sit here, throw the rock, and not just hide our hand, hide our whole body. Take a picture and post it showing that we the one that threw the rock. Like, I don't get it. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't funny. It wasn't no ha ha he he kiki moment. You knew exactly what you was doing it. You meant it for malicious purposes. And if you didn't, you're not stupid. You're not stupid by any means. You knew that there were going to be some repercussions after this. You knew it was going to be trouble, trouble, trouble after this. Oh, Kimmy, I didn't think he would be affected. Why? Come on now. You didn't think his wife would be affected by the things that he did? Or what that gives off, what impression that gives off? Really, you didn't think that? Come on, bro. You better than that. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Let's not. Let's not. So I can see that this season is going to be filled with denial once again. It's going to be filled with, we're going to hear about this picture. I don't know how many episodes. We might hear from 3 to 4, but we're going to keep hearing about this picture. Okay. That's it. I don't get it. There's nothing that you can tell me that says that he was doing this out of being jovial. You did it right when he said he wasn't around the girl. And instead of sending him the picture and saying, you don't remember this, you posted it up for the world to see because you knew they were going to come at him tenfold. They didn't even care about anybody else that was in the picture at that point. They didn't care. They didn't care because I think Cedric was there too. They didn't care about none of that after he said he wasn't there. And you posted that picture, they were coming hard on him, and you knew that. You knew that. You knew that. You knew that. And it doesn't make sense to me that you would do that to your brother knowing it was going to cause hell. And knowing that it was going to cause hell with him and his wife. But the simple fact of the matter is like, bro, why did you do this? Because now she looking at you like, what kind of brother is that? But that's my recap for episode 1. Y'all tell me what you think. Leave your thoughts in comments. Leave your thoughts in the comments and share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I appreciate you.